Familiar, you're familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.
Hello students, so welcome back to the video part number 9. Okay, now in this video I am discussing the second theorem, that is Norton's theorem. Okay, so according to this theorem, let us see how to simplify the given network. Okay, so the statement, we just look at the statement first so that we can discuss it later. So what the statement says, any two terminal linear bilateral network. Okay, you can consider any complicated network as a linear, bilateral network. So with two terminals, minimum two terminals should be there. Okay, so can be replaced by a single constant source. You have to consider now constant source. So what is that constant source is called? It is a current source again. Okay, single constant current source IN in parallel with the single resistance RN. Okay, so what is the difference between the Thevenin's theorem and this Norton's theorem? You got it? So in case of Thevenin's theorem, the equivalent voltage source is considered in series with a single resistance RTH, right? Now you consider a single constant current source connected in parallel, not in series now, okay, in parallel with single resistance, that is called Norton's resistance RN. Okay, in fact, this Norton's resistance or Thevenin's resistance both are same, because both are finding by the method of equivalent resistance only. Both are equivalent resistance, so both are same, but only the naming here we call it as now Norton's resistance RN. Okay, so anyway, I will write here what is this IN and RN here. Okay, look at this IN. IN is nothing but what here? The current. Okay, the current you are considering flows before designating the terminal of the original network. Okay, original network when short circuited. So when you consider the short circuit part of the the circuit, okay, before short circuit, what is the current passing through the network obtained from the source, isn't it? So that current is called Norton's current. Okay, then RN is the Norton's resistance. Okay, the resistance measured across the two designated terminals with all sources of EMF shorted. Okay, so whenever you measure the Norton's resistance, all EMFs, okay, all EMF sources must be short circuited here, okay, and replaced by their internal resistance, of course. Okay, and suppose if there are current sources, what you will do? All current sources in the network should be kept open, so they are just opened up here. Okay, so in that way method you have to follow the steps to find the Norton's current IN and the Norton's resistance RN. Clear? Now according to this statement, see, suppose if I consider one complicated network, after Nortonizing the circuit, how it looks, just look at the circuit diagrams. So this is the first circuit, what we call it as two terminal linear network. Okay, so two terminal linear network. Okay, now in this network, as usual, R1, R2, R3 are the three given resistors connected in this fashion. So with one voltage source, of course, here we have a voltage source. Okay, and then RL. RL is the load resistor. You have to identify one of the resistors as RL, load resistor across the terminals A and B. Okay, so this is simplified after so many steps followed according to the statement. So finally we should have a Norton's equivalent network in this way. So we should have only one current source, IN. Okay, so current IN is there measured here in the current source and connected in parallel with Norton's resistance RN. Okay, equivalent resistance is now RN. So current source and the equivalent Norton's resistance must be connected in parallel to each other. Okay, so in the dotted line, okay, so this part of the circuit, voltage source R1, R2, R3 are all replaced by this part of the circuit only, consisting of only two elements. One is the current source in parallel with Norton's resistance, that's it. So RL across the terminals A and B is connected back again in the final network also. So that is the load resistor across terminals A and B. So then it becomes Norton equivalent network to the first diagram. Clear? Okay, now let us see the steps for Nortonizing a circuit. That means how to reduce the given complicated network to the simplified network, which is called Norton's equivalent circuit. Okay, so the first step is once the given network is there with you, you have to identify which is the load register in it. Okay, because there may be number of registers in the given network. Identify which register is considered as load register in that. So identify the load register RL and remove it also. Okay, first you have to identify and then remove it. See, this is the first part of circuit, the complicated network consisting of R1, R2, R3, and this is identified as RL here. Okay, so this RL must be removed so that the terminals A and this terminals acts as A and B now as open terminal. Okay, the first terminal is to remove the RL and then mark the terminals A and B as shown in the figure B. Just mark the terminals as A and B where RL was connected. Okay, then second part of the circuit is short circuit. Okay, short circuit the terminals A and B as shown in the figure C. Okay, here see the terminals A and B are now just short circuited like this. Okay, short circuited like that. Then determine the short circuit current. So once it is short circuited, the circuit is closed. Okay, so in this closed circuit you can find out the current passing between the terminals A and B, right? So that is called actually IN. Clear? So that is as shown in the figure C. You have to find out the short circuit current IN. Okay, what is the next step? Remove the short from A and B. Okay, once you know the current through A and B, so remove the short circuit. Just remove the short circuit first. Keep open, just keep the terminals open and replace all the voltage sources by short circuits in series with their internal resistances and current sources by open circuits in parallel with their internal resistances. Okay, so this is all done already in figure D. Okay, in the figure D you can look at the figure D where the voltage sources are there, so that is removed and short circuited here. Okay, in series with the internal resistances. Okay, and actually it is given current sources by open circuit. Here there are no current source at all, right? So that part is not shown in the diagram. Current sources by open circuit in parallel with their internal resistance is the step. Okay, if there is a current source. Okay, now in this considered diagram there was no current source, so only voltage source is there. So that voltage source is short circuited in series with the internal resistance. That's it. Okay, now across the terminals A and B. Okay, so we have only resistors in the network without any sources. Now calculate the resultant resistance. Calculate the resultant resistance called Rn. So across the terminals A and B, you can find out what is the total resistance or equivalent resistance across the terminals A and B due to the presence of all these resistors in the circuit. Okay, so that equivalent resistance is called Norton's resistance. Okay, then draw the Norton's equivalent circuit now, because now we know already what is the current through A and B and what is the Norton's resistance across the terminals A and B already. So using these two values we can design the simplified network. Okay, how it is to be designed? So draw the Norton's equivalent circuit and connect back the RL. So here in the figure, last figure E, so you can see that the current source is considered, so in which the current is adjusted equivalent to this IN, whatever you measured here, across A and B. So through A and B short circuit part, so you have to adjust that current here in the current source IN, and this should be connected in parallel with the equivalent resistance measured here Rn. Okay, these two should be in parallel. Okay, now this part of circuit, okay, is called the simplified Norton circuit. Okay, consisting of single current source in parallel with the Norton's single resistance. Okay, then across the simplified network connect back that load resistor. RL was removed, here it was removed, so that RL should be connected back across the same terminals A and B finally. Okay, so that we can find out the current through the load RL as IL and voltage can be measured across the RL as VL. Okay, so that currents are given by, current is given by now IN into Rn divided by Rn plus RL. Correct, because it is consisting of only IN and Rn, so that you can see that the current through the load IL is equal to only IN into Rn. So because they are parallel, okay, IN into Rn divided by In this loop, the total resistance are in parallel. Okay, so that is why Rn plus RL. Okay, then voltage across VL RL is given by VL is equal to IN Rn RL divided by Rn plus RL. Clear? So this is the equation for voltage across the load resistor, and IL is the current through the load resistor after simplifying the network. Clear? So in the next class I will show you how to prove this Norton's theorem. Okay, so first you consider the complicated network and calculate the load current, and finally consider the simplified network. So find out that IL also. Finally, if that IL values are same, then the complicated network and Nortonized simple network is also equivalent to each other. So in that way we can prove the Norton's theorem. Okay, so in the next video I will show you the proof for Norton's theorem. Okay, see you in the next video.